to know if we have people coming today who've come before. So maybe even just a thumbs up in the chat. It kind of gives me an idea of, if we've met before, if you're familiar with Canva. I just wanted to start off by letting you know who I was, and I know Abigail's gone through all of those housekeeping things, but I'm coming to you with a primary school teaching context. So I have been in K to 6 settings. Actually, they're K to 12 settings, but working in the K to 6 settings. And more recently have jumped into the Canva Learning Consultancy role. We would love you to be hands-on. You've got your login details here that Abigail has gone through, so making sure that you're accessing via EdPass portal, as that's going to unlock all of the premium features here for you today. Today is just kind of talking about all the things that are new. So at Canva, we have 2 major drops throughout the year. And so it's not going to be very much back to basics for this particular session, but we'll go slow enough that everyone should feel comfortable and know where we're at. So this is great. 25 responses. Excellent. Use daily for myself. I love that. Love it. All right, let's jump in. Okay. So for our friends that have just arrived, we are going to have a hands-on session. So if you can log into your Canva account, it will make things really easy for you. Don't worry too much about taking lots of notes or taking screenshots, because I'm going to give you access to this entire presentation at the end of the session. But I did want to point out that, as mentioned, we do have a whole bunch of new features that have just arrived in our Canva account. Some of them you can see now. Some of them you may not get access to for a couple more weeks, only because when Canva rolls something new out, they tend to send it to the general public first, so that by the time it comes to teachers and students, it's the least buggy experience. So we let the general public sort out any problems that there might be. And then when it comes to us, we can have a more seamless experience. So we're going to jump on in and have a look at how we can now manage with confidence in our Canva education account. So some of these things you'll be able to access the links to later on, but this isn't more of an administrative thing. So those that are new to Canva are going to be like, what are you even talking about? But it's worth knowing that if you are moving between schools, or if you have an old account and you're toggling between an old account and a new account, there's a really easy way for you to be able to transfer your designs between the two. So this is embedded in today's presentation. So you'll be able to take this and maybe even share this with your IT administrator at school, because they'll be able to help supporting their new staff or teachers that are exiting and going to other schools. Another thing that I think is really important to point out is at a departmental level, people like Abigail and people in marketing teams and stuff, they'll have the rights to be able to contribute to your brand kit. So for you to be able to create presentations and decks that are branded to colours, have logos and whatnot. But up until now, if you've ever needed special fonts, or if you wanted to include your Bitmoji or something into here, you would have had to go and ask your administrator to add the fonts that you need into your school's brand kit. But we now have the ability to create our own personal brand kit. But I will just say that, again, this is something that needs to be toggled on by your school, because it's automatically or by default turned off. So for anybody that just goes, I do so much marking via Canva or via my learning management system, and I want to be able to take my digital stickers and stuff and place that in there, you guys can build out your own brand kit. So I am going to jump out quickly and show you what that looks like. So most of you will have logged into Canva now. If you are an admin, you will be able to turn this on under settings. But if you are permissioned as just a teacher, you'll have to ask one of your Canva admins to do this for you. And down the left-hand side here is where your brand kit is built out for your school. So you do have one at a departmental level, but you'll have one at an individual school level as well. Don't mind that says do not use. That's our old brand kit. But this just helps to make sure that all of the content that you're making, maybe if you're a classroom teacher and you're asked to have a parent information evening, they might give you a slide deck to populate all of your content into, and they can do that via Canva. But it's worth knowing that you can now create your personal brand kit from here as well. So to get there, I'm on my home page. Underneath the brand kit button on the left-hand side, this is where I can use this toggle feature to create personal brand kit. Abigail's saying it should be turned on. This is great news for you guys. This means that for those people that love to add their Bitmojis and have their special fonts for their themed classroom, they'll be able to easily access all of those elements and those objects and those fonts really easily when they're creating within Canva. So that was the first thing that I just wanted to point out to you, that you have the ability to do that, but you can't share your personal brand kit with others. So that's a limitation of that. And also at the moment, our students can't create a personal brand kit either. Although I'm kind of hoping there'll be an ability for that, because I know those that especially work in economics and business studies, these are things that students are building. They're building their own website. They're building their own digital portfolio. So this, I think, would be really helpful for our high school students as well. So that's a really cool new feature. Another one that I think is really, really important, this one here is turned on because you are part of an organisational account. I know that we have, and it's not just a Canva thing, it's an everywhere thing, because you can do the same thing in Word and you can do the same thing in other spaces where students are able to share templates with each other, and then sometimes those cheeky little kids decide to use it as a messaging service, or perhaps they've shared a template with somebody else and you want to know where it originated from. The administrator of the account in your school has the ability to go in and out of student accounts, not yours, but student accounts if they need to conduct an investigation. So excellent. Renee says she can't, however, in corporate. It might be at a corporate level that you guys can ask your team administrator if they can flick that on for you guys, Renee. So the investigations can only be conducted by the team admin, and they won't be able to go in and out of your accounts. So don't, think, oh my gosh, I made a birthday invitation and it's got my address on it. Someone else will see it. This is if our students are using this inappropriately. So obviously, it's going to fall underneath your school technology user agreement, but know that there is greater visibility now for our team admin to be able to investigate students that might be using this the wrong way. Another one that I think is really important, and I know that my friends that are new today are just going to go, what are you talking about? But if we have the ability to share anything that we build with students. Sometimes if we're working in a collaborative space like a whiteboard and we have 30 kids moving around in the same space, things can get moved or accidentally deleted. It's half of the course. But now we have the ability to lock things down and students cannot unlock them. So this one's just going to be really good for management of content that you're sharing with students that you don't want accidentally deleted or removed. I know that when I worked with grade 2, I shared with them all a scaffold of an infographic that I wanted them to be able to contribute to. And as they're clicking buttons and whatnot, they're accidentally removing text boxes. And this is just going to make your life a little easier in terms of maintaining a consistent look that you're then wanting the students to be able to populate. So teacher locked elements is new. Canva has also brought out some extra little tools to help teach with confidence. Now, this is my favourite part. We're going to do some hands-on stuff. So do make sure you've got your Canva account open here. Sorry, the investigation. So, Beth, that is something that your team admin can control. Are you part of the team admins? You can double check if you're a part of the team admin.
Jo, I think this might only be turned on for our organisation admins at the moment. Yep. So, Beth, you'd need to submit a ticket and then we can do that investigation and send you that information.
Excellent. Yes, I love that feature too, because that means that you really do have control as to who's bouncing in and out and there's no misuse of that. So that's a great idea. Thank you. All right. Sorry, let's head back. So teaching with confidence. This one here, I know, I'm not sure, you guys using ACARA or do you use a statewide
we have an essay curriculum.
Yeah, you have an essay one. Yeah. Every state does their own thing, but I feel like this is still going to be really helpful. What I'm going to get you guys to do is from your Canva homepage, you can either click on this button here that says Learn Grid, or if you click on Templates, you'll head to the same spot. I can't find my Canva at the moment. It's on your EdPass portal. I'm sure Abigail's probably got a screenshot there she can share with you too, Peter. And if we click on templates, there's a button here that says Learn Grid. Now, at the moment, this is giving us curriculum-aligned content for Australia. They wanted to go big, so at the moment they chose the biggest national curriculums, but they are then breaking it down eventually into state curriculums. But I think that, you know, we tend to teach very generally the same sorts of concepts, just maybe in different, you know, grade 1 and 2, things might pop around in different grades there. But I feel like you're going to use this. This is going to be really helpful in being able to narrow down your search within Canva, because we're trying to give you back time and not just have you endlessly and aimlessly scrolling for content. So either click on the Learn Grid button or click on templates and access the Learn Grid here. And this is going to allow you to narrow down your results. So from here, it is aligned with the Australian curriculum. Eventually, this will break down and the South Australian curriculum will be in there. You'll be able to narrow down by your grades, your subjects, and your topics there as well. And so these are ACARA codes here. However, if you are looking for something specific, you know, if you're teaching science forces, you can jump on in here. This is particularly useful and exciting for our friends who are new to Canva today. But if you type in your subject, your substrand, your grade, or the template type that you're after, it's going to yield a whole bunch of amazing resources that are suited to the Australian curriculum. So if you guys are after a multi-page document like a presentation, like a PowerPoint, our word for that is presentation. So you'll be able to jump in here and have a look. Look at all these push and pull and forces content that we've got built into here. If you were after phonics flashcards, you can type that into here and it will really help to narrow down if you decide I want kindergarten, I want English, and it will start to narrow down your results there. So all of this is completely free. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. You do not need to start from scratch. Canva creators are building all of this for you, and that's just a nice way to narrow it down. Now, for those who have been trying to get into Canva and are only just getting here again, please click the Templates tab on the left-hand side and select Learn Grid, because there's one other cool feature in here that I wanted to show you, and it uses a little bit of AI. When I think of AI in Canva, I think of it as my creative partner. It's taking away some of that administrative load so that I can get back to teaching. So if we click on Learn Grid, just underneath here, we have our worksheets. For those that hung around a little earlier in Canva and knew about Magic Activities, that's where you can build your digital resources for your students to engage in. But we can also create interactive games here as well. So it's a little like Code for Me if you're used to using that, but this is where we can jump on in. We can create games. So if I want a multiple choice assessment task in here, if I wanted my students to drag and drop, we can build that in here as well. So I've just clicked on Learn Grid. I selected interactive games, and this is where I can start to use AI to build my interactive learning experiences for my students. So very quickly, have a go at that while I demonstrate on the screen. I'm going to go Foundation. Let's go. I don't know. Social Studies. So that would be our Humanities. And let's go Shelter or something. Let's see. It's going to create an activity using the AI now. Oh, topic required. Okay. Build an animal habitats sorting game. What I put in here. Write your own. Ooh, maybe I'll take this out. Maybe it's getting too generic. Okay. Hopefully having more luck than me. My internet's being a bit painful today. All right, create. Let's go and see if we've built one in here before. We love tech. Tech's really being my friend today, isn't it? All right, let's go. I want to build Year 1 game on mathematics. Maybe I needed to put in my curriculum code here. Repeating. There we go. Build something for me, AI. What are we going to build? Create a fill-in-the-blank activity for first grade students studying maths. You'll see that this is using Canva AI 1. In the next few weeks, you guys will have access to 2.0, which will allow you to have greater editing. So instead of having to regenerate something that you're not particularly happy with, you can choose the different parts of the tool that you've built there to really modify that and make it your own there, to customize that exactly to your students' needs. As you can see here, we're up to 136 lines of code, and you haven't had to write a single line. All you've done is type in a prompt, and now it's building you a game. My problem before was that I didn't select a code for it to build to. So here we go, 210 lines. Obviously, the more complex the prompt that you write, the longer it may take for that to generate. But look at that, we're up to nearly 300 lines and we're almost done. Back in the day, you used to be able to watch this build in front of you. It was really fun and the kids got really excited by it. But look at this, now I have my activity here. What is your name? Let's test it out and make sure it works properly. In the pattern 2468, the repeating something is adding to. The repeating... What do we work? The repeating number? No. It's too tricky. This is too tricky for me. The repeating unit, unit. I didn't even read the word unit at the front there. Excellent. And so you can get your kids to start working within here and we can check our answers at the end. It will also collect data in a spreadsheet for us as well. So really helpful for being able to not only use as a teaching tool or a consolidation tool, but also an assessment tool there as well. So you have all, yes.
Is there the ability for us to go in and edit those questions and answers?
So in Canva 2.0, which will arrive in your accounts in the next few weeks, this is where you'll actually be able to double tap into here and you can change all of that. So you'll be able to go, okay, I need to change the words because that might not be the language that you use at this age group. It is good that it has generated in Australian or British English here because it knows that we're using an Australian account. But you can then go in here and say, okay, this sentence is too long. I need to make this really basic for my beginning readers and stuff. That's what 2.0 is doing. So at the moment, it's you'd have to jump into here and you'd have to regenerate that. But in the new one that's on its way to you, it's currently in testing phase with the general public, you'll be able to customize all of this. So it will make it really easy. And if you wanted to put pictures in, you can grab them from your Elements tab and you can bring them in as well. So I'm going to show you that. It will blow your mind. Just really, really helpful in making sure that, you know, it's the most seamless experience ever with the least amount of prompting and whatnot there. So Learn Grid is really amazing for being able to just narrow down your results and find exactly what you need, but also to be able to build within there as well. So in today's presentation, I do just walk you through each of these. So if you're thinking, gosh, she's moving, or I've never experienced that before, you can always grab these resources and come back and work on this at a slower pace. But also I think it's really good to be able to revisit after you get access to 2.0 that's coming up, because it's going to really, if you're getting used to using the older instance now, because if you haven't played with it before, you're going to be able to see a real difference in how you can level up your content later on. So just your little images there. We also wanted to make sure that you were creating without limits. We know that AI has helped to reduce, you know, I didn't know how to code. I don't know how to code, but I'm able to type this prompt and build what I need. I'm building the tools that are going to support my students where they're at, so I can create a tool or a game or an activity for my core, but then I can differentiate it for my support kids and I can differentiate it for my kids requiring some extension. So there's lots of different ways that you can use Canva to help support you with content creation, but also image manipulation, building and creating things for your students to interact with, but also if you work in the administrative side of things, if you're a teacher assistant or if you work in school admin, all of these tools can help support you guys. But even for me, I can't imagine like the limitations that I had even just 2 years ago when I was helping support the school production at the end of the year. You know, we needed sound effects, and I'm paying for software, and I'm paying for, you know, individual MP4s and MP3s of sound to accompany our school play at the end of the year. So these things you're going to find really helpful. So the first one that I wanted to show you, I think it would be a really awesome idea. If you're in your Canva account, if you head on over to the Create button in the top left-hand corner, and we all just open up a blank template, because I'm going to show you some really cool ways that you can generate images and bring them to life as well. So in my Canva account, yours might look a little different to mine, but if I'm just anywhere on my homepage, I have a button in the top left-hand corner here that says Create. I'm just going to get you guys to open a blank presentation. So if you just type in the word presentation here, I'm going to open up this blank template, and inside of the Canva editor is where I'm going to access all of the tools that we're about to look at. So I have my blank template. I've just clicked Create, Presentation, and now I'm in Canva with a blank canvas. From here, I'm going to show you quickly how to create your own image, and then I'm going to show you how you can edit and customize that image using some of our new features. So once you're in your homepage or in your editor here, if yours looks a little bit different to mine, I have my design space here, but I can also add extra pages down the bottom. And if yours looks different, just click on the Pages button down here and change it from a scrolling dock to this thumbnail preview. So I just clicked on the Pages button. Instead of clicking Add Page there and having to scroll, I can now easily just tap between my pages. And once you've done that, I'm going to show you how we can build an image from a prompt and then turn that image into a video. So down the left-hand side here, these are all your special tools, and I'm going to get you to scroll on down to where it says apps. Now, for those that have hung around in Canva for a while, you know Magic Media. But for our friends that haven't, this one is so much fun. You are going to click on apps, and you're going to type in the words Magic Media into the search. So clicking on apps, typing in Magic Media. And anytime that you use one of these apps, you'll actually see they show up underneath the apps button as your most frequently used apps here. Now, when I click on Magic Media, this is where I'm going to either be able to create an image, a standalone graphic, a video, or a 3D image. But I want you to stay on images for the moment. Type in a prompt, whatever it may be. Maybe you're going to type in a dragon sitting on a roof. Maybe you're going to type in lonely child walking along deserted road. Maybe it's a puppy dog who's running through a garden chasing butterflies. Maybe it's you sitting on the beach learning about Canva, sipping on a lovely mocktail out of a coconut. So jump into there, type your prompt, and bring that picture to life. So I'm going to say dog chasing butterflies. I love that one. So dog, let's go puppy dog chasing butterflies in a beautiful garden. Magic Media is turned off at a departmental level. Yes, that's right. So teachers have access to this. You can then choose from here your styles. So if you don't want to get too technical in your prompt, you can choose from those preset styles. And you can also choose your aspect ratio, so square, landscape, or portrait. I'm going to just say I want this to be cartoon, fun, and colourful. And I want it to be landscape. So bring that to life. You'll get 4 results from here. Obviously, you can go back in, manipulate that if it wasn't exactly what you wanted it to look like. But how cute are these little cartoon puppies? I love this one. So in less than 10 seconds, it's generated that image for me. This is really good for your students and their storytelling. Maybe you're getting your students to create a social story or illustrate, you know, a book that they're reading, character descriptions, etc. And you get them to build that. And when you tap on that image, it will insert into your design space. Now I'm going to make mine nice and big so you can see it clearly. Look how cute he is, chasing his little butterflies. The first one I'm going to show you is how you can bring this video to life, and then I'm going to show you how you can separate all the layers. So once, missed the prompt. Oh, you can create whatever prompt you like. I just typed in, I went to apps, typed in magic media, and I typed in puppy dog chasing butterflies. Whatever you like, my friend, it's completely up to you. So when I have my little puppy dog picture here, I can use my editing tools in this big floating toolbar up the top. Without having selected the picture, I won't have that toolbar. But once I click on this here, you'll see I have a toolbar up the top here. And I'm going to click on the Edit button. This is going to give me access to a whole bunch of awesome tools to customize my images. But the one I want you to look at is the Image to Video button. And it looks like a little butterfly flapping his wings. So I clicked on my picture, clicked on Edit, and now I'm going to select Image to Video. It's only going to create me a 3-second snippet, but I did this one for my mum the other day. I have a photo of her dad who's passed away, and he's sitting on the couch with me, and the both of us are looking at the camera smiling. But I turned it into a video where we look at each other, we have a little laugh, and then we look back, and she was brought to tears. She was like, oh my gosh, my dad, he's here. And she loved it. So it's such a nice way for you to also bring in your own images and photos and bring them to life as well. So clicking on that, I can either choose to have Canva generate this, or I can type in click on the picture there to grab that edit bar up the top. If you haven't selected the photo, you won't have that floating toolbar. And then when you click on edit, you'll have that image to video, or you can type in your custom prompt. But for this one, I'm just going to see what magic it comes up with. Dawn, were you able to click on that picture and then see that floating toolbar along the top? If for some reason it's not showing up, do you want to refresh your page? Look at this. It'll take about 20 seconds for that to happen. But such a great way, students. Yep, that's right. I'm hoping that Dawn was able to access that as well. Here we go. It's nearly done. I'm thinking he's going to be running along and chasing the butterflies, but I could have typed in a specific prompt here for him to follow as well. Oh, nearly there. Oh, great. Oh, look at this. Can you see in the preview up the top here? Look at my little, he's on loop. I love that. I'm going to click Add to Design. And then look at my video come to life. How sweet. So for any friends that have just joined us, you will get access to today's presentation. So if you feel, this is something you want to come back and have a look at, we have step-by-step instructions there. So look at my little video of my puppy dog chasing that. Imagine bringing your photos from photo albums from 20 years ago to life. Black and white images and stuff you can add color to as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. Hopefully, it takes about 20 to 30 seconds, but hopefully yours is just about ready to go. And then you make sure that you click on Add to Design, and anything that you then add to your design, you'll actually be able to access from your uploads there as well. So you can grab that from here. But check that out, how cute. It's done a pretty good job. Absolutely, yep. So I'll show you one more time. I'm happy to do that. For this one, I jumped into apps. I went to Magic Media and I typed in my prompt. So let's choose this one here. So I've got my picture here that I've built with a prompt, and all I did was click Edit, Image to Video. So again, you can either use the Smart option and have Canva decide what to animate, or you can type in your prompt. Maybe you'll say, I want the dog to do spin in a circle, or I want the sun to travel across the sky or something, and it will then do that for you. Excellent. Okay, let's head down the bottom here and just add a new page. So you can just click on that plus button to add extra pages. And I did mention a moment ago that if you brought in your black and white images, let's say you've got pictures of your great-great-grandparents or something and you want to bring them in here to create a digital book, you guys can upload your own pictures into here. But I'm going to show you this smart match feature, this style match feature, which will allow you to take all of your images and add color to them, or even take the color away. So let's head over to Elements for the moment, and you're welcome to type in anything, but I'm going to type in duck, just because one of our little mascots at Canva is a duck. And I'm just going to choose one of these graphics. So let's go with this little rubber ducky guy here. You can do dog, you can do butterfly, you can do tree, whatever you like. And I'm going to show you how you can use more editing tools to manipulate this picture. So if you are working on an amazing, presentation for your students or for your school, and you found all these really cool pictures and you think, oh, I really just need one of a recycling bin, but you can't find it in the same illustrative type. So you've used cartoon images, or you've used black and white outlines or something, and you just really need to be able to change some pictures you've found so that it matches the style. Once you've added a picture into this space, again, click on that edit button up the top here, just how we access the image to video. But you do have to have selected that animal or that picture for you to get that floating toolbar. And once I click edit, right down here, I have a whole category file called Style Match. And this is where you can now change the style of this cartoon picture here to be an outline, or to be a sketch, or to be a poly or a pixelated picture. So it only takes a couple of seconds here, and you'll see that my duck is now going to turn into an outlined colouring in page for my kids. So once you add something into your designs are automatically saving. So if you create something in Magic Media, they will save to your uploads here as well. But anytime you add anything into your design, you'll be able to access those designs here from your homepage. So you can see here, the one that I'm working on, it is automatically saving. But here's my duck. Let's go on in there and click edit again. And this time I'm going to turn it into a low poly. I love this. This is probably my favorite style match tool. So here's my beautiful coloring in cartoon style. I turned it into a coloring in line art image. And now I'm going to turn it into this geometric duck there. How cute is that? But imagine grabbing a family photo of yourselves and turning yourselves into cartoon characters. You'd have so much fun with this. I mean, we just had Mother's Day. Imagine what you could have done with that. So just some really cool ideas in there as well. So you'll find that tool under your edit.
Just a question, yes. Jo. When you do that, how do you save it?
So this actual picture, so all of the things that you are modifying in your design remain in this design, and you'll be able to access all of your designs from your homepage. So I've just modified this image. So when I come into my homepage and click on it, all of these designs are now saved in here. Yep.
So if you wanted to use it in another design, I guess you could just go into that one and copy and paste it.
Or you can create your brand kit, your personal brand kit here, and you can add that image into your personal brand kit. And then anytime that you are working in something, you can drop those images straight into your design. So that's another plus with the brand kit there as well. So yeah. So just remember, you don't need to worry about saving things in Canva. Canva's saving it for you. One other thing that I wanted to show you is the ability to separate layers. And I just think that this one's really, really helpful, especially when you are working with an AI-generated image. Perhaps there's some text in the corner. We know AI is not perfect. Maybe there's, a warped face and it's going to scare our kids, or, there's an image of a sign in the background and the writing's illegible. We can actually use a really cool tool called Magic Layers to separate that and to take away parts of our picture. So I'm just going to add another page down the bottom here. And you're welcome to generate in Magic Media your own image. Or if you have uploaded an image into here, you're welcome to use that as well. or you can find one under elements. But I'm, again, just going to head on into Magic Media just because I love generating something new. And I'm going to say chaotic classroom with happy students and tired teacher. I'm sure we can all, this one resonates with all of us. Let's choose let's go anime style and build this picture now. You are more than welcome to build whatever you want. You don't need to use my prompt. This is going to build a picture. Let's go. Let's go. This looks like a chaotic classroom to me. Here's my anime image. I'll make it nice and big so that you can see it. I've dropped or just tapped on that picture and inserted it into my design space. But this tool, and this blows the mind of so many people who've got lots of images. Perhaps you're working with photos that you want to send on for school communications and you've got kids in a do not photograph register and you need to remove them. This tool's really helpful for that. So clicking on that picture again, we're going to head on up to that floating toolbar along the top and click the edit button. And this is where you can access your Magic Layers tool. And what it's going to do is it's going to separate every single thing in that picture so that you can move things or delete them and reposition them. So clicking on edit, I'm going to click on Magic Layers. Give this just a moment for the AI to figure out all the different layers within here. Now, I love this because if you're generating images from outside of Canva, you can bring them into here as well, and you can really make this your own. So just give that 20 to 30 seconds. And look at this. You can actually see all the different layers there if I zoom in. So you can see all the different layers. I can go, okay, I'm going to pick up this piece of trash and I'm going to remove it. This girl here, she's away today. Here's my child in the do not photograph register, so I'm just going to move them out of the way. This, if I just click Control A, you'll be able to see. I'm just going to say, rightio, so after we've cleaned up the room, it's going to look nice, neat and tidy. And you can just start to really customize your own images here. I can see it actually took off the girl's foot at one point there. So you're able to really just separate the layers there. If I click Control A, I can see where all the different layers here are as well. So I think that that's a really powerful tool, especially for anybody here that is working in the school administrative side of things, because you'll be able to really make sure that, you know, that toilet sign in the background of that photo from the school excursion has been removed. So making sure that all of your content looks schmick when you're sending it out to the public as well. So a lot of extra tools that you're going to find underneath the edit button after today. Go in there, have a play and explore, but know that most of these features at the moment are only available for teacher access. Okay, so in each of these pages here, you'll be able to go in there and have a look. This one here is not available to students, I don't think, in South Australia, but I did just want to show you this one. Now, Abigail, she is the queen. She is forever helping support me. So I'm going to dedicate this song to you, okay? We're going to make a song for Abigail. She is like my person that just drops all of the wonderful information into the chat there, and I just couldn't do my job without her. So let's make a song for her using our AI music generator. You'll have to let me know if this one's enabled for you guys or not, because different schools, and I'm not even sure if it's been pushed out to 100% of schools yet. So some of you might see this, some of you may not. If you don't see it today, fingers crossed, give it a week or two. But what I'm going to do is head over to Elements now. This is where I can find all my pictures and all my different categories, including my audio category. So if I want to build my own sound effects and if I want to build my own songs, I can do that in here. So I've clicked on Elements, and you're welcome to do this on just a brand new page within here. But I'd like to keep the instructions up the top here for you guys if you need them. So I'm going to click Elements and I'm going to select Audio. This is where I'm now going to type my prompt. Now, I know students don't have this one, but it's really fun for you guys. So you could get them to describe their mum and then build a song for their mum. How cool would that be? So I'm going to say, Abigail, she is so knowledgeable and, oops, don't mind my spelling, and helpful during our training sessions Superhero Abigail. Go, go, go. Now, I want this to be a superhero themed song, fun and upbeat. Let's head to the generate button here and generate music. So not a sound effect, I want the actual song. Now, I hope I shared my screen with music. If not, I'm just going to give myself a moment to stop sharing. Is there any way that I can actually add music to this?
If you have, you should see share screen up at the share menu up the top, and there should be a toggle to share.
I love this so much more than Zoom.
there should be a toggle to share your screen.
Excellent. Are we ready to hear about Superhero Abigail?
When we're lost in training sessions late at night, she swoops in, making everything so right. Superhero Abigail, she knows the way. Go, go, go.
Listen to that. What a good one. Yay. I did pop songs in here, you know, strangely sounded a bit like Tay-Tay. But you could get in here and you can really just change the theme. You can say, I wanted a boy band. It will build it for you. So get in there, have some fun with that. Maybe it could be your intro, your outro. If you need a new song for the school bell, there you go. Build your own, make it really custom to your school. So you can access that under Elements, your audio tool here. I'm hoping, did most of you, were you able to include, were you able to build something at home there or in your education account there? That would be really cool.
It
all right,
seems like it's showing, so fingers crossed people could access it.
Yeah, because they do a slow rollout, yeah.
We've just got one question. How can you include pics of people? I think this is in relation to magic layers.
Yep. So
says they're missing from a photo.
Okay, so it says they were missing from a photo. Is this a picture that you uploaded into Canva? I'm just wondering the composition of the image, or is it a picture that you found within Elements? Peter, do you think that they might have used this at the school you're at today? Legends. If they're using Canva, they're my friends. A picture uploaded. So once you upload a picture into here and you're trying to use magic layers, is it just not recognizing all the people? I would just undo. Just click the little undo button and have your AI look at those layers again. Perhaps it's just a matter of it just didn't pick up something up. So yeah, definitely worth having a look at that. All right. You probably know, if you've been in Canva for a while, that we have access to 3D elements here as well. So under your elements, you have this 3D function. This allows you to bring your pictures to life for your visual learners. So when you add an element into here, you can count all the sides, the faces, the corners, etc. of your 3D shapes, or have a look at Earth here and spin it on its axes and whatnot. So you have the ability to use the ones that are already built into Canva under Elements, or remember when we were in Magic Media before, we had some extra tools here, including a 3D generator. But it's worth knowing that you don't have to be sitting in your editing mode now. As of a couple of weeks ago, once you're in full screen, these are completely rotational within here as well. So a couple of weeks ago, we were only able to rotate our images when we were in editing mode, but now in full screen, we can rotate them. So I just wanted to point that one out. The Decorate My Design I might skip just because time always gets away, and I don't feel that that's one that's going to be as helpful as others. We do have, Canva Code 2.0. So I did show you guys how you can build your own game in the Learn Grid, but how we couldn't go in and we couldn't edit parts of it. So I have a demo account. I do have instructions and extra things. So this little video here, there it is, will just show you how you can really quickly now edit and customize the size. So if you want to be able to see what it looks like on a different device, so if you know the parents are going to be accessing this from a mobile, how it might look for them. But you can now toggle into any part of something that you build in Canva code, and see how we're now double tapping into here, and we can change the content. So we can change the language, the fonts, the colors, the imagery. We can even head over to elements on the left-hand side and add our own photos in there as well. So I just wanted to point that out, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm dangling a carrot. You don't have access to this one just yet, but if you have a personal account, you can. You probably are seeing this feature here as well, but that is all coming into your accounts. For anybody that hasn't had an explore in Canva code, we do have a previous recording that I'm sure Abigail will be able to send out to you guys on Canva code. It is 100% worth playing. You will be able to build all of the tools that you need to help support your kids at exactly where they are in class. Now, let's see what else we've got here, because I know life gets, in the way of this 1 hour session. Okay, we have a chart generator. So I know many of you who have played within Canva before have probably discovered charts. So on the left-hand side under elements, this is where we're going to find all of our charts. And we can now just jump into charts and we can type in a prompt. So for this particular one here, here's my little demo. Which countries have the largest populations? Let's drop that into elements. Let's click on it again. Scroll down to charts under your categories here. And this is so useful for, those incidental conversations that pop up in the middle of your lesson. A kid might say, oh, which language is spoken the most in the world? Well, instead of heading to Google, why don't we create a chart here that will actually build that so that the kids have that visual? And it's going to create that chart right there for you using AI. Canva AI draws from multiple sources, so Claude, ChatGPT, as well as multiple, and their own as well. So we've got a bunch of our own built into there too. Leonardo AI for our image generations, etc. So that's another cool little level up in there. This one I think is probably not going to be as useful unless you're creating accessible content for some of your kids, but we do have the ability now. We've always had the ability to create captions, but now you can add the special little backgrounds and the different fonts and stuff in there. So that's a really good one there for student accessibility. The other couple of things that I really wanted to point out in the last couple of minutes is now we are giving you greater ability to deliver lessons your own way. This one here is in the audio. You'll only hear a 30-second song, my friend. Sorry about that. It does go for 30 seconds, which is just long enough for a school bell or a nice little intro or outro. But also I think just a really nice way for you to build a song for, maybe you've got school houses and you're building chants for your sports carnivals and stuff. It'd be really cute to put that in there too. So the assign feature now, in a previous session, we've talked about how you can send assignments to your students, either using your learning management system or through classrooms that you create in Canva. But this little video here just shows you how you can actually have greater visibility over the progress of your students. So instead of when you're sharing an assignment with them, you can't actually monitor their progress until they send that assignment back to you. But this little snapshot here will show you real live time on where your students are at. And I really like the idea of having this displayed on the board during a lesson as well, just so that you can sort of see where students are at in terms of your lesson and making sure that they're on task as well. So you have an assign feature built into here, but please do refer to a previous recording for anybody that's new today on how you guys can create your own lessons in Canva. And then share them via learning management system or via the teach button up here. So we can create assignments in here. So you click on teach, create the assignment, and as your students are working there, you'll be able to monitor their progress as well as give them that feedback. So you can say, oh, I think you've kind of missed the point here. Let's reread the question. And your kids can then get back on track there without them completing a whole assignment and then you finding out that they really just kind of missed the point. So that's really good. Yeah.
Does that feature only work if you assign it to students in Canva? So you see that screenshot of everything?
there is greater visibility coming for Google Classroom and Teams as well. Whether that's something that's been released just yet, I know because this one here is available in the school instance. So in the Canva instance, but once you share and assign with Google and Teams, you should be able to see that on this side as well. But I'm not sure about other learning management systems. I know that the two main ones definitely have this, but yeah. This one, long time coming. Can you believe it? We couldn't print straight from Canva for the longest time. We would have to export all of our content, download it out of Canva, and then hit print. But now we can just head to File and click Print, or Command Print or Control Print, and you'll get that little pop-up box, and you can hit print straight from within Canva. It's only about 12 years late, but we did get there. It's very exciting. Game-changing. You can download and export all of your content here to an USB or as an MP4 by clicking Share and selecting the way that you would like to download that. But if you just wanted to hit print, maybe you've got 30 students that have assigned you content, print without having to download every single one of them and then hit print again. So that's a good one as well. Live learning sessions. This one will blow your mind. I think I can do this in 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a live learning session here. And I'm going to now show you how you can get your students in and collaborating in one collaborative space. So let's go View Template. And I'm going to create a live learning session. Only teachers have the ability to do this. So I'm going to click on Share. And I'm going to create this learning session. You guys are going to head up to the top of your page, open a new web browser and type in canva.com/ABC. You're then going to be prompted to type in this code, and then you can all let me know what your favorite new tool is or something that blew your mind today. And I know for our friends that are new to Canva today, it might be feeling a little left behind. So write that down and we can make sure that we get you the recordings for all of our introductory sessions as well. No problem. Thanks for coming, Irene. Even though I'm going to close this screen, you'll still be able to access the code up the top left-hand corner here. I can see 14 people in here. If you click on the letter S, you're going to grab a sticky note, zoom on in, grab your sticky note and move it to where you want it to go. And then you can type straight into that sticky note. How amazing is this for you guys to be able to get your students in and collaborating in the one space? Your kids don't have to be signed into a Canva account. If they're not in a Canva account, they'll actually show up as a little animal. So I can't see anybody here as an animal today, but it'll give you a little animal avatar that you can get your students to write their name on there as well. But it's also really useful if you're, say, having a parent information evening and you're wanting some feedback. They can scan that code and all get in here and collaborate as well. I love this. How fun is this, watching everybody move and navigate? And whilst you're doing that, and I'm going to go in there and read in a moment, but I did just want to make sure that everybody has access to today's presentation. So I'm going to drop that into the chat there. So grab that link, but Abigail will be able to send that out to you guys later on as well with the recording. Maybe live learning sessions is one of your favorite tools. As a teacher, I have control here. I can add people in, I can pause it, and I can end the session as well. So I'm just going to zoom on in. Let's have a look here. Let's see. The activities relating to curriculum is good, isn't it? Magic layers and magic media. Ooh, I'm hoping magic media was new for some people. Live learning sessions, interactive games. Blown away by magic media. I'm so excited by that. For the minute, your kids don't have access to that, but you guys can create what you want. Or I've used it with year 1 and we were doing adjectives on donuts and I was like sticky, sweet, colourful sprinkles, and we were bringing their descriptive writing to life using magic media. So that was really exciting too. Definitely use it as a tool on the board. So my friends, I know that time is up. I appreciate you coming today. I know it was an absolute whirlwind and I appreciate you sticking it out. This recording and this presentation will come to you shortly. I'm happy to stick around if you've got any other questions that you need to ask in the chat there as well.
Thank you, Joy. As always, lots of things to digest and get our head around.